The story starts in a courtroom at 8:15 p.m. Kevin was about to find out if he walks out free or goes back to his cell. The crime itself is irrelevant to the story, but he was blamed for the exact same crime as the previous man who stood there earlier that very same day. Same file, same judge. The only difference was the time of the day. You see, the man who had the hearing earlier won the case, but Kevin got his request utterly denied. At first, this was odd, but years later, researchers went through over 1,000 of these parole hearings and found a disturbing pattern. Hearings that occurred in the morning got a 65% approval rate, but the ones who happened late afternoon, that dropped to almost zero. Same judge, same crime, completely different futures. What changed wasn't the evidence, it was the judge's brains. It wasn't just a decision fatigue, it was a fundamental depletion of ego. A theory that suggests that we only have a finite store of willpower day by day, and it has a huge effects on our decisions. Think of your willpower like this lamplight. In the morning, you have a full battery, but every choice, every scroll, and every decision on what to wear drains the battery bit by bit. And by the time evening hits, you can barely focus on what's in front of you. This is why the weak part of our identity grows faster at late times. And before you know it, by nighttime, three forces try to break your brain all at the same time. First, your obvious decision fatigue, meaning the brain's default tendency to seek easy decisions rather than making smart ones. Number two, the circadian slump, which is your energy levels naturally dipping and shifting towards sleep mode. And number three, the overthinking network system that kicks in, which is simply more rumination, more self-talk, and more drama. Bottom line is that if your current self is built on insecurity, then you will only think of insecure thoughts after dark. If your brain is built on fears of abandonment, then you will keep replaying abandonment scenarios back to back in your head. So when you're lying in bed at 11:50 p.m. thinking all these negative thoughts, what you're actually hearing is the self that you've been trying to escape desperately, and it only gets loud when you're weak enough to believe it. The disturbing part is that a lot of people like to think that this doesn't apply to me, that I'm a night owl. And to that, honestly, I say, you're right. Technically, not everyone falls apart after 8 p.m. But guess what? Almost no one makes their best decisions after 8 p.m. Now, all that said, let's be real for a second. We all wish we can just stop working after 8 p.m. Every day I wish that I can just jump back from work and shut my brain off and relax. In an ideal world, we should make important decisions today so that we don't have to tomorrow. But in the real world, we all have to make decisions on a day-to-day basis regardless of the time. So here's a 3-step framework to boost your brain's decision-making circuits after 8 p.m. Step 1. Breathe with intention. This isn't about being spiritual or dramatic. It's about clearing the noise so you stop reacting on autopilot. Focus on nothing except the air moving in and out of your body. I sound like an Indian monk or something. Anchor yourself to the ground. Let your shoulders drop. Breathe in, breathe out. Oh, beta, breathe properly. Anyway, jokes aside, you can't force it, right? You don't try to be an Indian monk in 60 seconds. Because if you try to turn this into a performance, your brain will know, trust me. So keep it simple, keep it light. Step 2, shock yourself awake. This is where most people screw up because they think we should drink coffee or Red Bull. But what you actually need is a clean jolt, something short, sharp, and controlled. A cold shower for a minute, or dipping your face on ice. Not that. The goal isn't pain, it's alertness. And when you do it right, you will feel your brain switch back on instantly. And step 3, build the right environment. So now that you have calmed your mind and lit up your system, it is time to hold that state. So give your brain the artificial cues it needs to stay switched on. That means turn those bright lights, sit on a real desk, not the couch. Basically hack your brain into associating it with being awake and deliberate. So that also means avoiding heavy meals, comfort spots, or anything that drags you back to sleep mode. And when you line these up, I guarantee you'll remain awake long enough until you sleep. But still, if you can remember this one rule of thumb, never make identity or relationship decisions based on your thoughts after 8 p.m. Period.